Early 2022. We are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast. We are back. This is the podcast where we talk all about theme parks, all that sort of stuff. Hope you've all had a good Christmas and New Year's. It's the first episode of the year, and it's all good to see your faces. I missed you.
Hello.
Nice to see you
Hi.
Yeah, we're all on it.
We're all
I
out of
expected a lot more. I expected a lot more energy there, man.
I think I was just thinking the last thing I am right now is on it. I'm drinking water of all things, but
the only two people who really drink religiously on the podcast aren't drinking.
I've got a cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
We've not been sponsored by Beer 52 yet, unfortunately. Oh, that's Fanta in a glass bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
then I
that's
have-
harsh.
It's not peach though.
Can
is
we
it?
just?
Oh yeah,
Can we
Aaron's
just-
set up.
He's look at his setup. Look at it. Can we all just
I
admire
have
it?
a setup
Yeah.
now.
Love
I've
it.
just
That's
moved
good.
house
Absolutely love
and this has just been completed. What reason
Is
chocolate,
your
mate?
desk gonna collapse though?
No, I've got a solid desk.
He's
Yes,
just
shelf-
got
shelf-
down.
shelf-
shelf just drops to shelf just crumbles to the floor
This is
behind
un-
it.
Ordered extra
Mate, it's
dowels
under
with his
warranty,
IKEA
this
finish.
This is from Very. This ain't IKEA, mate.
Oh wow,
Very.
very expensive.
Way to push the
Very
boat.
nice.
Some
out.
money, man. So, how? So what? You know what? Let's just do some small talk. It's the first one of this episode. Everyone's probably first one of the year. I don't know what you're like, but I've not really been seeing that many people yet this year.
No,
So let's start with anyone get up to anything good over New Year's? What did you do? Did everyone just stay in?
I slept.
just chilled
Well, I
a
had
pretty
self-isolate
shitty
for
year, to be honest
Christmas.
Yeah, I had COVID as well. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
that's
it's not been the
depressing.
best start to the year.
I didn't have COVID, but my brother did.
Anyway, Blackpool Omens in.
I went to a house party. I went to a
You went
house
to a house
party. I did
party?
the most.
Pushing the
the most
boat.
one.
Yeah.
I know, man.
I released a fireworks display. That was pretty cool.
Was it
Oh,
rocking?
yeah, that
Was
was
the
good.
house packed?
Really good.
Was the house packed?
Was it
Yeah.
cheese and wine?
No, there was about 10. I reckon about 11 people there. So it wasn't mad. And we all did, and it was funny because we all did a thing where it's like you could only have entry if you could prove that you'd done a lateral flow in the WhatsApp group. So we tried to keep it safe, but it's just like that's the new
fair.
norm now, isn't it? It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Going co-op, lateral flow. Going gym, lateral
Yeah.
flow. Right.
Exactly. And no one got COVID from that party, which is surprising. So that was a plus.
It works. Huh?
Nice. Hello to
Yeah,
everyone in the
Consider
chat.
that
by
a
the
win,
way.
sir.
Good evening, guys.
Hey, hello, chat. Good to see you all. 17 people. Holy fuck, watching right
Hello.
now.
Wow,
expect
we didn't
that.
know it's good. Yeah, we thought first one
Didn't
back. We've
expect
been
that.
quiet for a while, so how are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, this
Oh,
is the first time we've.
paragraph from Carl.
We
Honourable
just take a
and so
moment. This
can't
is the
chat.
first time
Carl.
we've had like all 6 of
You know,
us
honourable,
available.
can't
for a
chat.
For a
show.
long
Hope
time.
you're all
yeah.
well.
so
Some
long.
motivational words and encouragement, please. Don't crash.
No fast like
No, no, no.
Rita.
Stay off the road.
3, 2, 1,
Make
go,
sure,
go,
mate.
go.
Yeah, make sure you're looking in front of you and not on your phone.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Hey, I've got one. Okay, Google.
Hey, Google.
Or hey Siri.
Hey
Hey,
Siri,
Northern
take me to
Doggers.
KFC.
We don't.
Oh, no. We don't condone Northern Doggers.
No, we don't.
Nope.
It set it off. What the hell?
No way.
That's
I
hilarious.
apologize to everybody. in the
Everyone's just went off then.
chat. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
That is brilliant.
let's crack on. We've got a lot to cover, right? So, the main thing today that everyone's been talking about, I've seen on Twitter anyway, don't know about elsewhere, is everyone seems to have been booking, or yesterday they've booked
Oh
their
shit!
tickets for
Sorry,
opening weekend.
sorry, Sean. I just got like I'll let you continue for just 1 sec.
Fucking
My
so
boy's-
rude, mate.
I know, but for this guy,
Yeah,
for this guy, it's
switch.
worth it. For this guy, it's worth it. My boy Sloan's in the chat. Coaster Mog.
Dude.
That's my
Hey.
guy Sloan in the chat. For anyone who doesn't know, he's the guy who set up the dog mask ride on on the Voyage at Holiday World
Oh, wow.
that started circulating around
Nice.
on the internet a couple of years ago.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
What a man this guy is. Absolute legend.
Hello, Sloan.
Yes,
How you doing,
guy.
mate?
Hello, Sloan.
Pleasure to have you in the chat,
My guy
mate.
Sloan.
Thank you.
What's up, baby? Anyway, sorry. Carry on. Carry on. Sean.
But
as you were.
So yeah, Sloan was. He said here he doesn't know us because he didn't know us guys yet. Well, as you'll see, we've now got our names down. I don't know why it took me like 18 episodes to think it might be nice if people knew we are if they've never watched this before. So there you go. You know exactly who we all are now. But yeah, so first of all, let's talk about Blackpool Pleasure Beach opening weekend. Who's going? Who's booked?
Me.
I
I'm not booked yet, but I am going.
Friday to
going.
Sunday, everything's booked. I can't wait.
Don't know what
McCall,
dates I'm doing.
you're
yet.
going.
I'm hoping to be there. I still need to sort out my accommodation for the weekend.
You will be there. You will be there.
Oh, I'm going to be there in some capacity.
yeah,
I
you
just
will
don't-
be there.
I can't be there, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll be in
Oh.
Newcastle instead.
Are you coming to Towers opening though, aren't you?
What
I
are you
am
going
at
there
Towers
for?
opening.
How many Pleasure Beach weekends is James going to miss until he get in? Until we have to
I
have
don't
a
know if
serious
I've
talk
ever
about
actually
chain
been to
dogs.
one.
I don't know. Hey, Luca.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, how you doing, man? But yeah, so everyone excited. I can't believe it's like bang on a month now.
Yeah.
until it opens
Not
again.
This time next month we'll be in Velvet Coaster.
Spoons.
Yeah.
Spoons.
Having a mixed grill, mate.
Spoons.
Oh yeah,
I will be
Well, that-
joining you with that. That's the
Side
best
of
way to start
lasagna.
piss up is a mixed grill.
I'm
sounds
interested because the last time we were all there in like a
I'm
big
excited.
group was for Pleasure Beach Experience, and we drank them out of Brewdog. Um,
Yeah, we did.
me and
first
Marcus
night we were there.
ate them out of chocolate cake.
I drank them out
Oh,
of
yeah.
Light.
I ate
Best
them
bet, I'll
out.
actually be there myself.
Bottomless
it's nice,
chicken
so.
burgers.
Hey.
Don't
Yeah.
talk about burgers to me, mate. I'm still thinking about that burger I got served.
Oh, dear.
Where's the bacon? Why has it got bacon on it?
Veggie burger.
Oh yeah, wasn't it a veggie burger with bacon?
Yeah, because it had. I don't know. It was.
Blackpool!
I'm not going there. I was
What a
I was
point.
very
so
drunk.
funny.
I was very
Put
drunk,
that in
and I
the
think I
musical.
did it by accident. But it was a weird one. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back. I've still not seen me and Joe's brick on the wall yet. Someone
What?
messaged at me, but I need to go see that. Yeah, everyone's seen it except for me. Me and Joe. But no, I just
They
can't
just
wait
hide
to
it
go.
from you every time you're there.
Just take it
Yeah,
out.
it's take it away, sort of thing.
Replace it with Aaron's Rita Appreciation Society.
That thing's gone now.
That is gone.
I mean,
Dead.
I don't think much is going to be open because it's going to be February in Blackpool.
Right.
The ghost
But-
train will be open.
Yeah, though it's going to be more of a social thing. It's going to be called.
You're going to operate it yourself, Aaron?
Press the button. Send.
Press a button, jump in, seat back.
Jump in.
No, the
Hey,
speed
guys.
that thing takes out of the station, though, you won't be able to jump in. You just
Yeah, it's gone.
Kyle was so confused. Yeah, I had no idea. I was I couldn't tell if you were being serious or
So
just
for the podcast listeners, Emma said Mikhail was so confused at why I were kicking off. I wasn't really like I probably was kicking off, but it wasn't like at the person. It was like at Weatherspoons
At the
as an
situation.
entity. I was like, why would that be? Anyway, the deep shame from me there. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward just to getting back in the park and seeing people because on that Pleasure Beach Experience weekend, like everywhere you went, like there was someone and
Yeah.
that was about like 100 and odd people, I think, in the
Yeah.
park. There's going to be more enthusiasts.
I know.
on the
there.
PBE.
Oh, it's easy going to be more than that.
Now
Yeah.
this when it opened with the opening weekend, and we
Mate,
didn't
in
have an
February, it's
opening.
going to be all enthusiasts.
See, the
Yeah.
thing
Honestly,
the thing
it's
is,
going to
like,
be so good.
I'm-
Just meeting everyone, having a
That's
you know,
all.
Well,
conversations
the way
and
I've set
Yeah.
myself up for it, I'm really glad that I got to go a bunch of times back to Pleasure Beach last year and got to spend as much time as I did with enthusiasts and stuff. Because now I feel like I don't have to ride anything when I go there. Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking like the first time, because like before last year and a bit of like and well, yeah, really last year. Like I hadn't been to Pleasure Beach in so long. Like it was literally like years on, like I think it must have been like going on a decade or even maybe more than a decade since the last time I'd been to Pleasure Beach. So like for me to turn up to a opening weekend as the first time I'd been to Pleasure Beach in so many years, I'd be wanting to get on loads of rides and stuff.
Yeah.
And with how busy an opening weekend is at any park generally, it's not really that likely that you're going to be able to lap rides and stuff.
No.
And especially in a setting where you're going to be surrounded by so many people that you may have talked to online in the community and stuff, you're going to be looking to just be spending time with people that you've become friends with, not so much getting on loads of rides and stuff. So I'm glad that I've been able to do that.
Like, that's the best part about it, is the fact that you don't have to go to the parks to ride the rides. As long as you've got your friends and those you know that you're familiar with around you can still have a fantastic time.
Yeah,
and obviously that's kind of what's at the heart of opening weekend. It's why it's so, sort of like legendary within the community. It's everybody coming together for the first time that year and just having an absolute blast.
It's a good community, and this is like seeing the best of it. The amount of people have messaged me, "Oh, I can't wait to meet up, have a chat." Meeting Spoon and stuff. It's just that's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing, because 2019 was probably, I went to Blackpool like all the time, me and Joe did, and then 2020 we did pretty much the same. So like last year when I went there, I wasn't like you say, Mikhail, I wasn't like I need to get on everything, I need to do this. It was like you can just, and that's what I love about when you get into that headspace with Pleasure Beach. I think that's when it is actually it's most fun, because you can take it so chill, everything's so close to each other that you can, and then you've got that like proper hub where everyone goes. That's either coasters, or if it's raining, Velvet Coaster if it's absolutely hammering it down,
and
if it's
the wristband, it's done.
if it's semi-dry, then you can go by the fountain. But yeah, that's what I love about it. And when you have it's a perfect park for like big socials. I think it's really cool. But it's weird because we went to the opening weekend in 2019, but me and Joe didn't know anyone like in the community sort of thing. So we didn't really go to Velvet Coast, and then like we didn't have a proper opening weekend last year.
No.
It was like they had an opening weekend, but it wasn't the one. Other parks were open, so it took it away somewhat. Everyone was spread over, but
because people were going to like Pleasure Beach one day and then like Towers the next day, or like vice versa and shit like that.
So it's all it was very dispersed, and I think that the good thing about Pleasure Beach is like there's not really anything else open, so everyone goes there. So it's going to be really cool that we'll already know like a load of people now, Pleasure Beach regulars and other people that we all know. So it's going to be a really cool weekend, I think.
Absolutely.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Matt said in the chat, how many rides do you think will open, considering they are
as many as
39?
As many as
they can get open.
I mean, they're not going to hold anything back. I don't think if they can open it, they'll be done.
It's going to be based on the weather.
I get what he's saying, but I mean, we went in the storm in 19 and everything was open. It was
even the big one was open, and that was
Storm. I thought he was going to say like not in 1997.
Storm of 1997.
There will be enough open.
The winds blew in.
There'll be enough open.
I mean, let's just get this out there.
Tower fell over.
I mean, Valhalla obviously isn't going to be open.
Hey, Valhalla!
And the chances of Mexico being a thing
that?
at that time of year, again, I don't think that's going to be a thing either. I mean, those two things are going to come probably later in the season, but it's still going to be, as much as they can physically open. And obviously, we're still going to have a great time. So,
it took a whole 15 minutes to be mentioned.
Valhalla, there we go. Valhalla.
It's going to get mentioned, again.
Valhalla.
I think that's the thing. Like, Pleasure Beach do such a good job of, if they can run the big one, they will run it.
Yeah.
And I've seen them like just a lot of people have seen it. If you've been there enough, you'll see it just waiting in the station until they can go, and they'll send one. Even if they send one an hour, they're trying the hardest to send one. So they do try the hardest. No, they really do. That's the thing, like these rides.
That was the only ride that me and Joe didn't ride on opening day, because we got in the queue and it was on one train ops, and we thought, we'll just hack it out. We'll see what it's like, and then like
they wouldn't shut it. Well,
it got shut you down. It got a bit long before we moved, and then we walked away and we went and did something else, and then the alarm went off for the wind. So it was like it was a good decision, really. We missed the gap that everybody else did. I know that Scott managed to get on it just before we entered the queue. So
I think we rode Icon like 4 or 5 times that day, didn't we?
Yeah, I rode Icon a lot.
There's always Wallace.
I think
and again,
based on that photo coming out from the fabricator that they're using, they've only just finished actually fabricating the track. Is it even going to be installed?
Unless that's a photo from like from November or something, and then we'll just put it up.
It looks. I don't know, man. It looks like. I saw a lot of comments about it being like it looks like it's changed. I don't think it was that track because it didn't look like what went underneath the through the tunnel.
Yeah,
it looked. I think it was a new one.
The piece I saw looked like it was the piece going up into the mid course, but like there's been footage out of the current piece of track on that section already been taken off for a while now. So like you said, James, like it might have been like photos from a month, 2 months, however long ago. Definitely. I kind of feel like that what they're like 3 rounds into this retracking now. This is the 3rd time they've retracked in the off season.
And they're only an hour and 20 minutes away from the park because it's literally 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah,
the factory is.
I feel like they
Tazika
are staying with the. I feel like they're doing everything in their power to stay with the objective of retracking as much as they can, and then getting it open for opening day. I'm not too worried about it. I could be saying something completely different in 3 weeks' time, but
pretty sweet though. If it doesn't open, it'd be pretty sweet to see some retracking going on while we're in the park. Like bring back some 90s vibes.
Can we just give a shout out to Tazika for like the work they actually do, because these guys, they're bringing it back to life with what they've done. The amount of change it makes to that ride, and obviously we felt it ourselves back on opening day, last year, and obviously how smooth that actually was.
Yeah, that new
they're
entrance
doing an amazing job. They really are.
My God,
massive shout out to Tazika.
That is like
the tunnel's so much quieter now.
Chalk and cheese.
Oh mate, it used to hurt. I used to dread that section because it hurt my ears, man.
You're right, Matt. It does. People do worry about it each year, but it does always. Everyone, it's always who's putting the first shot from Velvet Coaster while they're having their breakfast, looking out the window of the drop, and it's like it's running. There it is.
I can see it.
It's gone. It's going.
Pleasure Beach Experience did an amazing video about it being worked on. That was amazing. With it inside the factory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was really good.
It's crazy that is literally 5 minutes. It's the next industrial estate along from where my house is, where it is.
That is
mate. Don't dox yourself, bro. Don't dox yourself.
You have people at your door tomorrow morning.
Right, I'm going around for full English, mate.
It'll only be Aaron turning up. Premier in breakfast, mate.
They're gonna
breakfast if it's not Premier
in both.
Luke.
What's your mini hash browns?
Tasker are going to get loads of fan mail for Coastergen now. Be like, forward it on to. He's only around the corner.
Can I come for a brew?
Stick kettle on.
He's just there in the staff canteen, just making tea in the morning.
I'll make us all brews. Have an hour in there.
Hell yeah!
But no, it'd be interesting. I don't think they'll be working on it while the park's open, just because it's like it goes over bloody everything, doesn't it? Like it's not like they can just.
They wouldn't be able to operate Steeplechase or Icon for that matter if they
won't be. Anything really. They'd have to cut off that whole section around the park because it would be But no, it'd be interesting. Like I say, it's what you got to think about with opening weekend is. It's a social thing. I know a lot of people are going to a bit like, I don't know about the social thing if you don't know that many people. But yeah, if you go there expecting everything to reopen, just don't go in that mind frame, man. Just be like, let's just get back into the park. Let's see what we can get on. Though we'll try the hardest. I'm pretty sure unless it's mad winds, Icon will be going. It's it can cope with that, but unless it's absolutely crazy.
And there's always the log flume,
which there will be a takeover at some point. And if you've never seen a log flume takeover in person, it is worth it. It's so funny. It's way better than just seeing it on a video. It's like just got to be there. It's hilarious, isn't it?
It was so funny at the PBE event. Yeah, like, I was on the bridge. Well, I started at the front, and then the first few boats went down. And I went behind, so I was talking to them all as they were coming through the S bend before they even went round up to the drop. So I was talking to them all, taking photos of them all in the boats, and they're like, "Nah, like the Marcus scam was hilarious."
We were like, "How does it feel, mate? How does it feel? How are you?"
Top Full Tourist says we sat on the train. This is about Big One when we're talking about Big One. We sat on the train for about 50 minutes waiting for the wind to drop, and as soon as they sent us. As soon as it did, they sent us. It was absolutely terrifying being up there in the wind. It is pretty.
Can you imagine that's pretty nerving?
Because it's slow as well up there. It's
even slower when you've got the wind blasting in your face. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd be worried about it valleying on the first hill.
I'm always worried about that anyway, because it seems to slow down so much.
More airtime with the updraft, though. And there you go.
I totally didn't put this on the plan, but it'd be good to just quickly talk about the new experience for walk the lift hill. Or walk the big. It's not even the lift hill now. It's walk the big one.
Oh yeah,
XL. Yeah.
Not just the price is XL. That's what everyone was doing.
extra large.
But it looks like. Hold on.
It's sold out.
I'm just looking. Yeah, it's sold out, that one has, but it looks like they're still running. They're still running the normal one.
Wow.
So they're still running the lift hill walk. So you can do that for it's £75.
I was just about to say, how much has that one been historically?
That's gone up 25 quid on it.
20 back. I think it was. Oh no, wait. I think it was 6. I think it was 6. Was it? I thought it was 60.
55, 50.
I don't know,
could but 65.
That
not 150. That's the bottom line.
I'd say what we paid, whether it's 55 or 60, that was worth it. I'd still pay 75. I'm not just saying it. I'd still pay 75 to walk it.
Yeah,
because we did it at night, didn't we, Luke? Which was awesome. Just seeing all the illuminations, but I want to see it in the day because you can see a lot further out.
Yeah,
I'll even go one further than during the day. During golden hour, like sunrise or sunset.
We were so close to golden hour.
Could you imagine?
We were very close to golden hour.
We were pretty late at getting up, weren't we? On the from the
we probably would have got a golden hour if it does take a lot of time for them to go through all the.
We did sit in the hotel by accident though for like 10 minutes.
Oh no, yeah, that was a bit of a miscommunication, weren't it? We went into the hotel. They said
reception in the hotel.
It was the hotel person's fault though, because they basically said, they'll come and collect you. Sit over there. We sat there, and it was like 20 minutes went past, and we went up to him again. We was like, "Are we being collected?" And they went, "Oh no, you've got to go through the side gate." I was like, "Why are you telling us to come in?"
We've been sat here for like 10 minutes. Fuck all.
Like we just been sat there.
We sat in front of them though. That's the fucking piss. Of it all. We were sat.
It was mad. I was just like that. Just really annoyed me. That's in the Big Blue. We sat.
I like this. £150 for walk the big one, or 170 to buy part of the platform.
Well, the pricing though, it depends, doesn't it? It depends on how much you want to do this experience. I'd like to walk around the Ghost Train.
The XL is still a lift hill.
I'd like to do that.
And 2 other parts of the track that you go up.
Is it the brake run and
XL includes the lift as well?
Yeah, the lift and the
fucking better for 150.
First gantry that's just before the turnaround.
I think
the second drop, I think.
What I would say about the price for XL is I don't think it's too expensive. I think if you want to do it, you'll do it. You'll pay that price because at the end of the day, people are paying like silly amount. Like someone just paid 450 quid for like the bracket of Big One.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but I'd much rather do an experience like that than
I'd rather just
own
get a season pass for 150 quid.
You could do both. if you wanted to.
Yeah, if I've got the choice between spending 150 on something like that or to just own something that's likely too big for me to fit anywhere in my fucking house anyway, I'm choosing I'm choosing to walk up the ride instead.
It's not for that's the thing. Like this ain't for like just a casual enthusiast. This is for like someone because this XL version. This is just more. It's just expanding on the lift hill walk. It's like someone who has got like crazy memories of Big One, and they just want to know everything about Big One. You know, I'm sure they'll be like behind the scenes of everything. And I reckon they'll take you up into probably the booth. It's not. I don't know if they said that, but I think it'll be like a really. I think it'll be a really thorough tour.
Yeah.
If Andy's running it, it'll be awesome.
I'm not saying it's bad because like
I miss Andy.
I'm not saying that if you can't afford it, tough luck. Like I'm personally not going to pay 150 quid to do it just because I think for me the lift hill walk is enough, but it's probably not aimed at me. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference. I'm saying if someone really wants to do it, they will spend that like extra money to go and do the whole thing. And people just it's not to do with. It's the thing that annoys me about sometimes about these sort of things where people go, "Oh, this bit of merch is too expensive. This event is too expensive." It's just like, if you really want to do it, you will stop buying like little bits of every single bit of merch that every single park comes out, and then just stuff it in the drawer because you've got no room for it, and you'll be like, but if that's what you want to do, if you want to collect merchandise. That's your thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But then it's if other people want to save their money up and put it on an experience, that's also it's up to them to do that.
It's just about what you place your value on.
Yeah.
And evidently enough people are going to place value on this to the point where it's going to sell out because it already has sold out.
That's what I'm saying. It's not when people are saying this is too expensive. It's not because it's sold out. Do you know what I mean? That's all you need to know. And that's not because everyone who's booked it are like millionaires. That's because they've probably got a certain amount of money. They might have whacked it on a credit card because because that they're just like that's worth it to me. So it's I think that's the point of they've been running these events for so long now, like walk the Woody last year.
Got that big one. Can't wait.
They know what people are willing to spend. And I mean, when we did walk the Woody, there was like 5 team members who are staying after hours, setting everything up. There's so much that goes into it behind the scenes to set up these events. It's got to be worth it to the park at the end of the day. And
for sure.
I mean, I've got that booked for April. So tell me a little bit more about that then, for those that haven't kind of done it yet.
What's that for?
Walk the Woody.
Walk the Woody. So
I'm doing it in April.
You can watch my vlog. Watch my vlog on it.
Watch time.
Vlog-tastic.
It's one of my favorite videos I've ever made. I've got to say, it's honestly one of my favorite videos, and it was such a good experience. But I don't know if they changed it. But my experience was that you basically you start off in the station. You walk in Big Dipper backwards. You're harnessed on. Cool. It's really tricky to get the clip over the I can't remember what the actual word is now. There's like eyes, to get them over it. Worse than like doing it up big ones, lift hill, a lot harder because it's like you're sideways to it. But you walk like so much of the track. Like you go. You basically walk all the way until you get around to where Big Blue is. You go off there. You walk a portion of the express track. Yeah. So you walk down there, and then you walk the lift hill of it, and you go walk all the way around it until the first drop. You can see that walk down the first drop, and then you walk back down the lift hill, and then you walk the track all the way back to the station. So it's just a big hills that you're missing out. And I was like, it blew my mind. And the fact is that I don't know if they carried it on, but when you do the big one, you get a medal. Mm-hmm. That's like included in it. Whereas I've showed this before, but you get you get Walk the Woody. That's basically like your medal, which is Walk the Woody piece of Big Dipper, which awesome. I thought was really clever. So I hope they're still doing that because that was like a really nice like surprise at the end. And that's like what, 25 quid or something like that in the shop.
Yeah, I got Danielle got me the piece of Nickelodeon Street.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's epic.
So it's orange.
It was a great experience. I'd recommend anyone do that.
It's orange.
I know my
Emma.
Christmas, mate.
Emma, I was asked about it.
He did a video on it.
I did a video on it. Go check it out.
He does vlogs or something, I think.
Emma, you walked to Woody, Sean? You never
one time
it.
I did. But yeah, like I say, so it's one of them. Like, it's fine being like, this is too expensive for me. That's that's obvious. But it's just when people on Twitter are like giving the park, like they're going release this new event, and then everyone's going, that's a rip off. That's blah blah. Yeah. It's just like there's people behind. This is another thing. This is Sean's.
I know exactly what you're about to say, and I agree 100%.
Someone from a park put a status out who does it, and they said like when you're, giving parks, a bit of shit over social media. Remember, there's someone behind that. Like that's their job to have to read like all this negative. Like imagine if your job was just to like read negative comments all day. Mm-hmm. And chances are you don't know who's that. You're probably liking that individual person's Twitter posts because you don't realize they're behind the screen because some of them don't come out and say I'm behind this account
shit on the sly.
But and then you're like, oh, you don't actually realize it's the same person. You're just making their day be a bit rubbish. So I just think just think about what you say like when you're on the comments. Like it's fine to have a bit of a moan. That's what that's what hobbies and stuff is all about. But when you're just constantly being negative on people's like tweets and stuff, I mean, personally,
to expand on that,
I just want to say, I'm not trying to be like I am right in this situation. Do what I say. I'm not saying. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I just think let's just be a bit kinder, like, because it can affect people a lot.
I mean, to expand on that as well. In most cases, obviously I can't speak for all parks. But in most cases, the people who run the park's social media accounts have zero say on the decisions made by park management, by corporate companies that own the parks, or just anyone who is, included in the decision-making processes for, as it pertains to operations, new attractions, new additions, new events, new food places, etc. The social media, employee is just there to convey information in a palatable form to the guests. That's it. In most cases. So
it's like that in any.
So for you to hop on Twitter, start running your fucking mouth at them over something that they had no part in other than to tell you what's going on is foolish.
Don't you think it's strange, though? Don't you think it's strange that we all want new things from these parks, right? Our community. And then when they release something new, the amount of negativity and just go, "Oh, I don't like that." It's just constant, isn't it?
It's a weird subject, and I can see both sides of it. Where it's like you can't. If it's a really bad decision, for example, someone like Water Valley, like that's just ridiculous. They've got the Ultimate's just sitting there rotting away. Like I can see why people are so angry at that, and sometimes you probably do need that. But when it's just like it's just the way
like that anger has to be direct. Sorry to cut you off. That anger has to be directed to the right place.
It has to make a statement, not just piss someone off.
Throwing it at the social media employee who's conveying the information on Twitter is not going to do anything.
No, it's not going to do anything.
You're just shouting because you want. Right? You're just shouting because you want to be heard.
Yeah. Can I just say as well, regardless of whether it's a park, it's a person, it doesn't matter who they are. When you're talking to an account, that is a human being with feelings and emotions behind that account. Whether they're wrong, they're right, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can quite easily hurt that person's feelings, and you don't know what they're going through. They can be going through a really rough time at that particular time when you make that statement too. So
you might have just made them mind.
Be kind.
I think that
you expect it to talk to yourself. There you go.
I think that goes for not just talking to partners, but just talking to each other on social media, man. Because you're going to see that person at a park, and 100% you won't say anything to him. And then I've seen a lot of nasty back and forths. In the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And it's just like just talk, just because you're like behind the screen, just think, okay, would I talk to this person this way if it was like real life?
We've all met a couple. We've all met a few of them in real life now. They are just people with jobs. That's it. That's it.
Don't forget that.
It's that's the thing. It's like at the end of the day, like this is a community especially with people who work in theme parks. 9 times out of 10, they're enthusiasts. They're like part of like the community, especially on Twitter and things like that.
They are in the community, and you probably don't even know about them.
It's not like it's not like tweeting flipping Weatherspoons, and this person is just like not that bothered. It's like at the end of the day, you could be slowly trying to ruin someone's hobby because they're going to start associating theme parks and the community as kind of nasty, like
with just negative vibes. You don't want that.
So I would just say, like, it's not like you're not allowed to say anything negative about any parks. You can, but like if you're talking directly to them on like a thread, just be like constructive with the criticism, like maybe not just like not just being like nasty. That's all it is. I don't want to say
this pricing thing. The whole pricing situation, I looked at that price and I was just like, yo, that's not for me. That's not within my budget. That's not for me. I can't afford that. So I was just like, it's expensive because I freaking love to do it, but I just can't. I can't put that money down. People can. People will sell out. And like I said, people who do go will have a fucking amazing time. I'm sure this event, this Big One XL, will be absolutely fantastic. And if the people are behind what we did with the Pleasure Beach Experience event, the behind the scenes, if it's the same people who are involved and the enthusiasm that they have for that park and the love they have for that park, it's going to be one of the best things you could possibly do. Because the big one is Blackpool, and that's what it's for. That's probably why it's got such a markup on it, because it's like you say, Sean, memories and all of the love that it had, that people have for that ride.
Yeah,
you know, and it shows that the Pleasure Beach are using this right. It's great to see Pleasure Beach using the big one in that respect because they're looking after it. What they've done with Tazikas, going back to what we said earlier in the podcast, is a great way to look at where their investment lies. They're investing in what they've got. Like, appreciate that. The retract the Big Dippers just dropped last year.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think, like, to put it into perspective, like I haven't got like a load of money that I can just drop on this experience. But however, if like Towers tomorrow said 150 quid, we're gonna give you basically a walk of the Smiley's Lift Hill, go behind the scenes, all this sort of stuff. I'd try and find that money somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like if they said
very upset.
They'd be like, we've got 10 places. It's going to sell out. I'd try and find. I'd try and find that one.
Aaron,
mine.
Hang on, I'll just get my wad of cash out here.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
or take you down. We'll take you down into Nemesis Pit to the bottom.
Yes,
have a whole tour around.
I would cry.
Mate,
that happened right now.
I'd pay.
Florida.
I'd pay irrational amounts of money to do.
Yeah, I'd give you 10 grand to walk Jewel. I would. Here's a mortgage. Take me round.
Careful, Aaron.
Yeah.
Be fucking careful.
See, in my head, when you said "take me down," all I can think of is the song.
Yeah.
Take me down. It's stuck in my head.
Yeah. Imagine if you turned the water on as well, and then they actually put like a bit of red dye in it while you were down there. Oh man,
bit of red dye.
Walk Rita's launch.
Right.
No.
What we need to.
You do on the train.
So talking of pleasure, talking about Pleasure Beach, Icon is at Pleasure Beach. Guess what? Still Taipan.
Isn't it Pleasure Beach?
It's not opened. I tried to segue it, and
that was a shit way.
It made sense because I thought we'd still be talking about like.
You nearly did.
So Steel Taipan is open. Well, no, it's not open. When does it open?
It has opened.
It has opened.
Yeah,
okay. It has opened.
Yeah.
And the reason this is interesting is, I mean, it is kind of like a Blue Fire clone. To a somewhat degree, but what's different about it is the fact that they have actually opened it with the if you spinning seat on the end, like what basically the Enzo treatment.
That and it has a triple launch with a spike, but the spinning seat.
All right, Mikhail, so getting bogged down with who's got.
We were.
I just want to make sure we're coming correct with the info.
That's why you can speak up, bro. That's why you can speak up. So you did. But no, you're right. You're right. But why it's interesting is they are charging 25 Australian dollars to ride that seat in the back. Do we think that? We didn't have to have a massive debate about it because we already have, right? But do you think this is going to be similar to what Pleasure Beach will be charging?
So like it's 25 for the entire row, isn't it? And then like
what is it?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
What for four? No, for two. For a row of 2 seats,
I think it's 25.
Well, that's
and
not.
Then if you're doing it by yourself, and then if you're in a group, I think it's like you would obviously split that down the middle or something like that. I did read something like that. I can't remember.
I can't imagine that happen. How would that happen? Surely if you want to ride it yourself, you're paying because you it's not like they're going to have a ticket booth at the gate, at the air gate. Or they're going to be like, okay, well, you two can go on together.
And it's like if you are a single rider and you get put with another single rider, that's 25 euro. Euros, but Australian dollars.
There would have to be another single rider. Like it might, long term wise, when it first opens, there'll be single riders going on it. But eventually, you might get there, and there's no other single riders. So what happens then? That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It sounds confusing as hell.
No, just the point that Kay Coasters brought up. $25 US is not a lot. It is in Australian dollars. It's $25 in Australia.
It's all to do with him. Yes, to what?
I don't know what the conversion rate is.
If we put the pound against it, maybe not.
Like 25 Australian dollars is £13.29.
Yes, but in Australia, $25.
What's the minimum? What's the minimum wage in Australia?
Probably about $400 compared to us.
Per hour.
Per second.
Not a clue. I have no idea. But not like 25.
What is
whatever currency? No matter what currency, like 25 sounds like a lot.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. 25 euros. Imagine that. Then it hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, the minimum wage in Australia is
apparently it's $20.33.
An hour
per hour.
So it's not that. It's not that.
Is it? Yeah.
Or $772.60 per week.
Fair enough. Take it back. But it's
the cost of living in Australia is much higher.
Is it
than us?
Right. Okay. That's what I have to measure.
They have a really high cost of living,
and they drink Fosters. A lot of Fosters.
So Matt,
even Australians don't. Australians don't.
They don't.
Matt Lovey's in the chat says $25 for 2 people. Even if there's one person, you pay the same amount. If there's 2 of you, then obviously you split it down the middle.
So if you're on your own, it's $25.
Yeah.
So it's saying here, this is off Google, right? So the most affordable house you could rent in Australia, like Perth, basically, is 385 Australian dollars a week. So that is like comparing that to their minimum wage. That's a bit mental, isn't it?
Yeah, like average cost of living in Sydney, one person per month without rent is $1,432 without rent.
That is that, but that's be like comparing London to the UK though. Like London
without rent.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, but anyway, despite
welcome to Homes in the Sun.
That's what I was
going to say. I didn't realize we were all planning to move over there.
Yeah, sponsored by Channel 4.
I'll do it with this. And we're deciding
UK Australia. Yeah, we are. Be careful.
Sorry,
We're going down under.
I got way. That's a big tangent. I never thought we'd be getting into on that.
No,
That was not in the topic list, John.
It wasn't. It really
Anyway,
wasn't.
Enzo.
Anyway,
it's gonna cost money. There you go.
It's gonna cost money.
It's gonna
You've
cost
got
money.
Coke in a bottle.
£10 a go, I reckon.
Yeah,
About
I said I had
£10.
Fanta and
Who is
Coke
this
as
guy?
Fancy
He's live
living.
down south, isn't he?
Yeah, he lives in Kent.
No, it's the pizza place that I get
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's pretty good though. To get like normally you get like the pizza place I go to, they literally put it in like like a cup with a lid on it and then tape it shut. They don't even give me a bottle. They literally
Again,
give you a
though,
cup.
I'd probably pay any money to be honest, though. Then so again, some stupid.
What for Coke in a bottle or Enzo?
For Enzo?
Yeah, don't give Coke.
Depends how thirsty I was, but I'd
I mean,
pay
it's
any.
pizza.
I'd just
Wow.
take my money,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think the question for that, like I think we said before, was the first go. I'm gonna pay anything. Like I will just experience, but it's the longevity of it. Like if they say it's gonna be 30 quid per seat or something, I'll pay it the first time, but I don't think I'll keep doing it. Like, you just can't afford. Like you're not gonna be able to do that.
And
are you?
even that one time, I don't know how quick I would be to do that. Like at some point, I feel like at some point it'll just be like, all right, I'll try it once. Having already ridden it like a bunch of times in the season already. I'm like, all right, I'll try it once. And then...
Quiz 2022.
Getting ideas for the questions.
Write it down. Good one.
Please, someone actually put that in a quiz at the end of the season.
We'll forget.
Hey, Coach just put in that Champions League quiz that I'm part of.
Oh, dude, I'm still sore on this. Move on.
I'm back on their quiz tomorrow night, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, you better win, because if you win, I'll see you in the Champions
I'll be up
League.
against you. Exactly.
Yeah, let's go.
Got to cram that knowledge. Yeah, man.
We got
Watch these videos.
Not very far Giga. This is a big.
Oh, wow.
That come out.
So you went from a shit way to just dropping an absolute bomb of a topic.
And on that bombshell, let's discuss.
Yes.
Let's go to the plans.
Evan, you love quizzes, but you don't love my quizzes.
Mikhail, you got this.
Okay. So, basically, some plans surfaced like on the internet, courtesy of our boys, the Drunk Riders.
Big up.
That may or may not be real. It hasn't been 100% confirmed yet. It's looking like, well, I'm
glamorous assistant.
I'm kind of on the fence as to whether or not they are real. I really hope they are, because for reasons that we'll get into. But
that's a lot of effort for them to go to if it's not real, though. Look at the
and I mean, like there's a date of drawing on there being a date in October of last year. So like if it is real, then it was drawn up really recently, and what we can I suppose the tentative conclusion that we can come to is that Knott's Berry Farm is at the very least considering a giga coaster for their park. And if it is real, I suppose I could just put a blanket disclaimer over this entire conversation. If it is real, then I feel like the positioning of this is so smart. It's going to be in the ghost towns, like at the end of the ghost town section of the park where their wooden coaster Ghost Rider is. And the like a strong 95%+ of the layout is going to be going into a newly renovated area where there's going to be a multi-story car park, new parking, and newly, I suppose, just modified parking and stuff. But I mean, it's gonna the fact that they've been able to fit a layout like this in and around, like the tight sort of plot of land that they have is impressive in itself. Now into the coaster, because the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because just the level of this thing could potentially be. We're looking at a 300 according to the plans and according to what's been discussed by people already since these got leaked. We're looking at a 325-foot lift.
Ooh.
Not drop, lift.
Nice.
Right, with a 347-foot drop into a tunnel going underneath a new road to a car park. That's a 347-foot drop into a tunnel.
That's got to be the tallest giga out there, though, if that happens, right?
It would be. It would be. Yeah. Well, if you're going off drop, it would be
drop. The drop.
Depending on what the actual height turns out to be, it could end up being a little bit taller than Fury 325. It could end up being, the same height off of ground level.
Wow.
Whatever it is, it will be highly contested, like everything.
Fuck you. But yeah, no. This layout looks. I think it's widely regarded for people who have ridden Fury 325 that Fury is like the best conventional steel coaster. Conventional meaning, just a coaster with a normal chain lift. Fury is widely regarded as one of the best, if not the best steel coaster, just traditional steel coaster. This looks like it could be a Fury beater, potentially. Yeah. The layout looks super, like going by what you can make out of what the elements could potentially be. It looks super creative, but still within the mold of what you imagine a B&M Hyper or Giga model to look like. It looks like it'll have around about the same track length as Fury, so it's not going to feel short when it hits the brakes or anything. And yeah, like after the drop, you've got a turnaround sort of element, which is looks very similar to the turnaround on Fury's layout. And then at the other side of the layout, you've got an ampersand turnaround, which is very similar, which looks to be very similar to the one on Shambhala.
Yeah.
Other than that, and then a couple really huge airtime hills. A lot of this layout looks to stick to the ground. So like it looks like it's gonna it looks like it could combine the low to the ground sense of speed focused nature of Fury with a couple huge airtime filled sense of height elements in there as well.
Yeah.
Off of what makes the just B&M Hypers in general so praised by coaster enthusiasts. GG Brownies in the chat has said like seems like a noise nightmare, and yeah, like they it's going to be interesting to see how they mitigate noise issues, because it like Knott's Berry Farm is very close to Buena Park, which is the nearest town to it, and there are residential areas all around the park. So like how they would mitigate noise, not only from the coaster itself, but from people screaming on the coaster, is going to be very interesting, and obviously it's going to play into a lot of the decision making as to whether or not it will be approved. Now, what knots are able to include within the presentation of the proposal, how the ideas have been developed over time, and just what they're able to present and suggest in terms of noise mitigation. It's going to be really interesting to see how they display all the information on the table.
Is it going to be? Is it like not? Is it like south of the park, basically? That load of car parks, is that where it would sit?
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Like it's like right at the bottom of the park where the hotel is, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I could understand that. But I mean, when you think Ghost Rider, it's so close to a lot of residential areas. It looks like. I mean, I know being on a car park, it's a little bit more, but it seems like more like hotels and stuff. It's by like a Woody's going to be a lot noisier than I don't know. It's one of them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
I guess. They've got a lot, but I think a lot of these where you see the residential areas that a lot of them could literally just be like villas that people are renting. But I don't know that enough about the park, but.
Yeah, and I don't know a whole lot about like the residential areas and like what sort of demographic of people live in those residential areas and stuff. But I guess I'm not entirely sure how the sort of situation of mitigating noise in 2022 and beyond would differ to how it was when they were planning Ghost Rider, because Ghost Rider's not
it's so old.
It's an old ride. And then like, and there have been ways that B&M have been able to work with parks with dampening the noise in their coasters before. Like Leviathan has the box spine filled with sand. Fury has its rails filled with sand. Like there are those things as well.
It's kind of the norm now, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah.
But they could. It just depends, doesn't it? They could end up building a sound barrier somewhere, from the park. That's kind of like how Fantasyland have got away with being. I mean, Fantasyland is bang in the middle of an actual like neighborhood, so because they've got all them sound barriers everywhere, they get away with it a lot. So
Silver Star over at Europa Park's actually got a sound barrier down sort of like from the top of the lift hill down one side, so obviously
I really hope they don't do that with this though, because that thing looks so ugly.
Oh yeah, well I mean obviously,
would you rather like have it or not? That's a deciding factor. It's one of them, isn't it? Really.
I've just found out something that has completely thrown me. Knott's Berry Farm has a knife shop. They sell knives in the park.
I mean,
Jesus.
You get edging shears from Alton Towers Christmas.
It used to also sell real firearms. They now sell replica firearms, but still sell real knives.
I think it's just
what on earth?
I know, I think it's mad to us because obviously we're in the UK, and it's just it's a quite a very normal thing. I grew
anything about that.
Yeah, that just sounds so alien to us, but it's it's just the way it is. I think it is weird.
Alison in the chat. Hi, Alison. It says they just need to tell people to scream inside their hearts to keep the noise down.
Tried that, didn't they?
Wasn't that so hilarious? Because a park in Japan tried that.
Tried that.
Like,
didn't work much, did it? No.
Was it also Japan that like at the time when like coasters were like becoming big, like probably back in like the 90s or something? It was just not the culture to like show emotion or something. So everyone naturally like braced or like went like that, and it caused loads of injuries because everyone was just like crouching down like that.
Everyone just bracing too hard.
And then you've got Theme Park Review going over there.
I also remember when Fort did their thing. It was a taking the piss, but the say no to BO, where you weren't allowed to put your arms up on.
Yeah.
I you know what? I know people like joke about it, but I miss them like 90s, like kind of not 90s. It was early 2000s, like campaigns and stuff that a lot of these parks did. Well, most advertising did.
Weird.
Like that, it was weird. It was a weird time, but it was all about like how he could shock the most, and it. The whole FC UK campaign back in the day, and it was just like
we're on a log flume.
And
that is a tune.
There we go. We're on a log flume. There we go. But yeah, it looks interesting, and that will be insane for Knott's Berry Farm, though, wouldn't it? If they get that,
there have been rumors circulating about a Hyper or Giga ending up at Knott's for decades now. Like going on nearly like 1 or 2 decades.
But doesn't
for years.
But doesn't every park though?
Yeah, the amount of plans parks must crop up with. I think never ever use.
there's some parks that we know will never get a Giga, like at Alton Towers, chance of getting a Giga unless they they literally like dig down to the center of the earth.
A very big.
We're not getting it.
You could put down that valley.
I mean, there's always rumors about just some kind of major coaster coming to just any park. But I mean, there is. Like I think when it comes to like hypers and gigas specifically, because I feel like that's a thing that like people in the enthusiast community, I feel like people identify the need for a solely airtime focused ride in the form of a hyper or a giga, a park needing something like that. More so than any other kind of ride.
Well, how about but it's like Thorpe Park. Like all along for years, I've thought that's Thorpe Park need like a hyper or a giga, and then
that's one of them as well. To be honest. And honestly, it wouldn't be after Exodus. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be entirely out of the question to wonder if they would go down that route after.
Yeah.
But why is it? Why is it like a lot of people can identify that, but then a load of people are like RMC at Thorpe Park. I'm like, it doesn't really need an RMC. Like, it'd be nice, but what it needs. So I don't know. I think it's the thing is with probably when the rumors starting around with Knott's Berry Farm was when like Giga was the thing, you know. And now at the minute, RMC is the thing. It's always like, you know. It come out of nowhere. I've never been to Knott's Berry Farm, but I've seen so many like vlogs there from there.
Yeah,
I've seen, I know a lot about the park in terms of the layout of it and everything. And I would one thing I thought would be like, nah, it's like Blackpool suddenly getting like a
that's kind of the thing. Like I mean the rumors have been flying around for years, but my sort of response to them has always been, where the fuck are they going to put it?
This kind of showed you an idea, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't have been able to guess this. Like if I was to think where it would go.
That's the thing. Like Blackpool, I've said this. Blackpool could 100% get a new Giga or anything. Yeah. They could easily go into their car parks and then do something like build a multi-story somewhere. I think it's entirely possible. They still own a lot of land. Like they own all them car parks. You know where they store all the old rides.
Yeah.
That's their land. Yeah. That's massive. That's massive.
Yeah, but
you could go over that. You could go over that road, or you could go under the road if you wanted to. Probably not under the road, but you could definitely easily go over it. And then because, like, you know, we forget that Pleasure Beach has a road going straight through the middle of that park.
I guess it would depend on what. I guess it would depend on whether they'd be willing to spend that money. Like with Knott's Berry Farm, obviously, like Blackpool Pleasure Beach isn't a park that is backed by a multi-billion-dollar head corporate company like Cedar Fair, are they?
But
so like
they got Icon though. They got Icon, and no one ever thought that would ever happen. Like that was insane. Like I think we sometimes forget that like what Pleasure Beach was before they got like Icon. It was kind of like be nice to have something new. Are we going to get a Mac launch? No, it's not going to happen. And it happened. So I think. And plus, like they spent I don't know if
I would put a Mac multi-launch on the same price point as a massive Giga.
I think personally.
It's especially from B&M. I hear what you're saying. No, I do hear what you're saying.
Maybe not from B&M, but I'm not saying B&M. I'm saying something different.
Just a hype, just like another coaster of that kind from someone.
I'd say if they could do it, because like look how on the skyline of Blackpool, like. Big one is I know we're going back to Blackpool again, but for Pleasure Beach, right? That dominates the skyline. It's probably as or even more iconic than Blackpool Tower in a way, where you can see it from everywhere. Like, what difference would it make? Like putting another like massive structure there, it really wouldn't make that. It's going to bring in a lot more money to Pleasure Beach, and like at the same time of doing Icon, you got to remember they built like Boulevard as well. They redid all them shop fronts all the way up there, even though they can't sell any of the the space in there. But they redid all of that. So you got to think like that they are willing to spend money. Probably not in the next 5 years or whatever, but it could happen. And I think seeing, like you say, it's not owned by a big conglomerate, but it's in some ways it's
if a park sees if a park wants to spend that money on something like that, then they will. Yeah. I do hear what you're saying.
Mikhail, what was the last big investment at Knott's Berry?
At Knott's Berry Farm, it would have been Hang Time, won't it? The Gerstlauer Infinity.
So how long is that now? It's good. A few years, couple of years.
I don't know.
Googling on it.
I'm looking.
RTPP real quick.
2017.
Yeah, so a few years.
Oh, 2017 announced, open 2018.
Yeah.
So
well, no, you'd class Ghost Rider when it got its overhaul. When was that?
I can't remember.
That was like 2000.
Hang Time was the last. Hang Time was the last new edition.
New edition,
a new major coaster edition.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, it's like because that's been like a few years prior. Maybe this has been the plan all along. That's how it's got leaked out.
Let me just see, because that like, even though that was the last, 2017 was the last. I reckon this is about two.
The Ghost Rider retrack was in 2016, so it was 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
mate, that seems like so.
It's been a bit now. It's been a bit. It's been a little bit of time now since that retrack.
Yeah, but I remember when it opened back up, and in my head that was like a couple of
yesterday.
Yeah, I remember seeing the artwork for it and stuff. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Sean.
That's mad. That's really blew my mind. Okay.
But yeah, I'll be saying if Fury, if Taller Coaster happens in Fury, it'll be nuts, because I'm going in 2024 to California. Hopefully,
it could be on that level, and I mean, Fury is without a doubt the best B&M I've ever done.
Yeah.
The
ampersand and the quick turn on that plan really looks really cool to me. That's what stands out. Is that it's got pretty much all three top B&M elements that they throw out there are in there. You know, the amount of speed hills as well that look like they're in there. Whew, that is
what's interesting to me is that
drop.
What's interesting to me is that like Fury 325 is so much different from every other like B&M hyper model coaster, whether it be a hyper or a giga, just because of how much it focuses on low to the ground elements after being so high up.
It's so much better,
and the tunnel and the speed it takes through it, like some of the videos I've seen of that.
I don't think you can ruin a ride experience by just being low to the ground for some reason. For me, anyway, just it improves the experience. It just feels like better.
Faster, doesn't it?
It's that element of near miss and that element of danger that it adds to that experience. It adds to the thrill.
Just near miss elements and everything. Like it just feels like a lot fast. You feel like you're going a lot faster than you actually are.
Like terrain hugging coasters are just brilliant. For that reason.
Like I mentioned before, this looks like it has those kind of elements that focus on that low to the ground near miss sensation kind of experience,
and a few good people
combining them with massive elements to give the airtime lovers like satisfy the airtime lovers as well.
Yeah. It's that break between, like, you get the speed elements, then you get the the floater airtime. That's it's big. Yeah. It's like I always like Shambhala when you come out the ampersand, you hit the speed hill. Fly up what feels like forever because it's such a steep incline to the next hill, and you drop down, you hit the splash. It's good. That whole little free transitions there are so good on Shambhala. It's amazing.
Emma said, "I wonder if Carl's still running."
Probably.
He ran to McDonald's and that's it.
Keep running, Carl.
It's license.
Sloan in the chat said, for anyone if anyone's missed it in the chat, so him and a bunch of others, including Mike from the Drunk Riders, I think, they're planning a whole massive trip through Scandinavia and other parts of Europe for this summer. Sloan's included the dates for in the chat. If anyone has any kind of Europe plans for this summer, they're yeah, like the dates that they're going to be there are there. If anyone would have any kind of interest in meeting up with them or anything, Sloan is, as I've said already, like Sloan is one of the most awesome people I've met in the last few years. Obviously, got to go experience Energylandia with him.
Thanks, pal. Love you too.
And with him and James Larson and a couple of others, and yeah, like they're a great time. So yeah, if anyone wants to get involved, if anyone wants to get involved,
definitely interested in that.
Yeah, that's there for your intro. Obviously, I love you guys as well.
No, you're rude.
It's not enough.
Who are you?
Gig has been built, mate.
Carl is safe. He's done 7.5k and he's just had to stop to pick up Caleb.
That's a lot of cocaine.
I thought he said pick up a kebab.
That's what I
said.
thought.
Caleb.
Yeah.
His little one.
Oh, kebab though.
Oh
I thought he said to pick up a kebab. Imagine doing like 7.5k and then just being like, oh, I'll just have a chicken
just
now.
to get to the
It's kebab.
Double cheeseburger.
Yeah, go for it.
I had one of them today. Nice.
You had burnt all the calories. I can put them all back on. What?
Yeah, true. It's a very good tactic. It's a very good.
Yeah.
That's why we all hibernated, because we just needed to lose weight before we did the podcast. Christmas and New Year.
Not necessarily lose weight, just not put any weight on. So doing a lot of exercise.
I don't think drinking this beer is going to help that, but never mind.
So cool. So next up, we've got Intamin single rail. There's been news about this.
Speaking of Australia.
Yeah, and Andaman.
I'll give up on these.
So, the average minimum wage in Australia?
How much is a loaf of bread?
So how much is it for dental in Australia?
How much is a dental hygienist?
Don't.
Intamin's rendition of the single rail coaster, their first one, I believe it's already it's opened now. Big Dipper at Luna Park. So. Yeah. I think that has opened now, and it looks very fun. It looks really fun. It looks a bit quicker than I thought it would, actually. Now that it's now that it's ran a few times and with people on it and stuff, looks decent. Yeah.
I'm trying to find where did you see this?
What? It's on YouTube.
I'm going to say probably on YouTube.
Intamin themselves actually did share a POV, so if you check their channel out, it's probably on.
I've got one. Amusement Insider.
Yeah, that's the one. There is that one.
I'll put it up. One sec.
Cool.
Yeah, no. It's a multi-launch coaster. It uses drive tires on each launch, which is
I love the sound it makes,
which is interesting.
The sound it makes is cool. Yeah. It makes it sound like a Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Remember the old Hot Wheels sets you used to get? You used to run it through the tires.
Yeah.
I like that noise. Sounds like that. Now it just sounds like Sean's laptop's about to take off.
Yeah, I heard it.
I forgot to put I forgot to knock my fans off. Sorry.
That's a strong colour choice.
It was Wonder Woman, isn't it?
I love the fact that it's literally right next to like residential accommodation as well. Like,
how they have problems with
there we go. Noise.
It's just budget Ruckberg.
Excuse me, guys. Do you mind if we stick this outside the front door? Yeah, no.
Australian
mustard yellow and
struggling.
It is struggling, yeah.
Yeah, I give up.
Yeah, I was going to say, why is it on
running so much stuff for a laptop, mate. That's what.
I love it though.
You can hear my laptop.
I love how they're like Intamin have literally gone after the single rail concept and pretty much done just as well as RMC have, if probably not slightly better with like the multi-launch aspect. I really like that.
Bradley says McDonald's the right.
It does look like a normal Intamin track, and they've just filled it in.
That's inversion, isn't it? Inversion at Flamingo.
Please, let's not.
That's any yellow and red coaster in the world.
Let's end inversion the ride, please.
I need to.
I'm going to let that chill for a minute. Yeah, but it looks it doesn't. It's not on. I mean, it's not RMC, is it? It's a
Oh,
different style. It looks more fun.
nice.
It looks
I don't
more
think
fun.
I don't think Intamin meant it to be on
No,
that
no,
level of
that's-
intensity and craziness.
I don't think it was. It's nice that they've
What is
done
that
their own
support?
thing. They've own, oh, mate,
Oh,
their
yeah.
support.
A really random support.
Yeah, have a
I
look at
love it
some
when
of the
everyone's
supports
like,
throughout
"Oh, your
this.
supports are very unrealistic."
Why is this? I don't know, man. It hates it when I'm using StreamYard. I don't.
Whack it on 144p, it'll run that.
Oh, look at that! 2009.
Welcome to Minecraft.
At least you can actually
Welcome
watch
to my
it.
home video. Yeah, that support there. Jeez.
There we go.
Looks like
Yeah, that support's crazy.
the first iPhone.
That one as well.
That bit reminds me of the second bit before the second launch on Icon, where it does the dive downs. Yeah, this is Halls by Airtime Hill.
Looks
Yeah.
really
It,
fun.
it,
It looks
it does
pretty
run.
exciting.
It does run a bit quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah,
Um,
smooth.
well, it looks that way anyway.
Very smooth.
Hmm.
It looks a bit. I know. I'm not going to say it, but it doesn't.
Fun little ride.
Yeah, I think that it's a fun little ride. I think that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Intamin's take on kind of like a. It's very weird to see Intamin do it. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's just a normal track coloured in. You can see the spine in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's like sticks
Yeah.
out,
I just filled it
and
in.
the rails on the side.
It
you see the
literally
rails
just looks
stick
like
out.
they've just been filled in, doesn't it?
They
Like,
literally
that's
just like got the paint
That
bucket
is-
tool in Photoshop
Oh,
and dropped it.
guys,
on the
that
middle.
is how we're
that's-
gonna do this.
that's-
It's gonna be a
that's
single
pretty much
rail.
it.
Fill
Yeah.
it in, mate.
I didn't even know. I didn't even notice that before, but that
Yeah.
The rails are
Yeah.
there. You can see them. They're not single rail.
And like that
Amazing.
part where it's got the boosters, it
Yeah.
is a normal rail
normal
with
cross tie.
just
yeah.
very big cross ties.
Yeah. That's why they've gone with yellow, so you can't see.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a very popular.
Oh, it'll do really well at the park.
installation. Yeah, I think
yeah.
a
The
lot of
most
parks will end up getting this.
The most interesting thing about this to me is that the seating and restraint setup will be much more favorable than RMC's single rail trains, because a lot of people, obviously I've not ridden an RMC Raptor yet, but a lot of people talk about like how restricting the straps on the restraints can be, probably for good reason, with how fast those things run, and just like how like the specific ways in which your legs and knees are sort of like resting on the trains, on the second gen trains as well. This is gonna be using, you know, Intamin's tried and true like new gen seats that are just way more comfortable, and the lap bars are just, and well, by virtue of having lap bars, it's going to be a much more comfortable, much more freeing experience. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it does look nice. There you go.
And quite
Oh, yeah,
inexpensive
there you
to
go.
build, right?
What's that?
would you
It'll
say?
be it's going to be inexpensive, isn't it, as well? So
I don't know, because that looks like a spine. That was like more steel than what they would do if they did do a normal track. There's two rails clearly in a spine. Like you can see it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does look like more steel, and steel is very expensive at the minute.
Yeah,
Not in Australia, because it's $20 an hour.
Yeah, it's
Or in that
interesting.
back
It's an interesting. Like I said, I think these will get installed in a lot of places. They don't seem like. I think, yeah, it does seem like a lot of steel, but are they like a little bit less?
I think it's.
I was going to say,
yeah.
the track. At first, I thought it looked the same width, but I think it actually isn't as wide.
Yeah, when you see it,
it won't be as wide if it's
Nah.
only one person across.
when
Yeah,
you
I
see,
thought we might have just used the
Yeah.
same and just went, screw it, let's just put the seat in the middle. Just to make it a bit different.
No,
now I'm seeing it in context with people on it. It's a lot smaller. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot thinner. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's
Like the
definitely
tra-
different.
like the track gauge will be much smaller, and I suppose like the thickness of each, like the sheet in between the rails, and then like the welds as well will all factor into. When it comes to track, Intamin love cost-effective track. Like they've refined their track how many fucking times now over the past
a
like
lot.
10 years to try and get the cost effectiveness like down at pretty much as low as they can possibly get it. So I'm not
I don't really like the look of them cars though. I've got to say, look a bit plasticky, man.
They do look plasticky on that picture, but I've seen some off-ride footage of it, and it looks great.
Is
that the idea, though? Are they supposed to look like that?
That's what it looks like to me.
You go at me for saying that when it first came out.
I can see that.
I'd be as happy as the guy in the second one.
It's also because they're so. It's because they're adults and they're so much bigger than the car themselves. It just makes it look like they're in one of these little cars.
Reminds me of that red and yellow one you used to get in legs when you was a kid.
Yeah, I'll have to have a better look at them cars though. But yeah, it'd be interesting to. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I'm just glad that Intamin went a different way with it. They're not trying to go the RMC route where it's kind of like very forceful, very whippy. It's kind of, I mean, there was some in that POV. It looks like it did haul it around a little bit, but it doesn't. It seems like a much more kind of fun ride than any of the.
It'll have it. I think it'll have its moments of forces. But
yeah.
Like in the same way that the Mack multi launches, namely Icon and Copperhead Strike, to be specific, like those are like. Those have their moments and they are intense in moments, but for me personally, those are more so defined by how fun they are rather than how aggressive they are.
Yeah.
Like Copperhead Strike is just a ton of fun, and while still having its moments of like whippy transitions and stronger forces and stuff. I feel like this will do. Maybe not to that level, but like it will be defined in that same way. I think the experience on this will.
Yeah,
I think it's a good market for Intamin too.
I'd like to see
smaller parks.
The smaller parks. Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see like a park get this model and what you could do, how you could change it to like the theming.
I think you could theme it really well.
Because the thing is, it's just it's like on concrete. So in my head, I'm already thinking it just looks like something you'd see at like, kind of them tarmacky type parks. Where it's just
like a fun spot.
Like a fun spot.
Like a traveling fair. I swear I could see like, what's it called? The sort of like the traveling brace that all the supports sit on, with traveling coasters. I swear I could see
wooden blocks.
Yo, if that popped up at Winter Wonderland, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So Looping was on literally a couple of wooden blocks in each one.
Was it?
There's a documentary that's on.
I looked down
YouTube
and was like, "Jeez."
About the whole Oktoberfest setup, and it's got a really in-depth video section of them setting up Olympia Loop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Need to check that out.
Bread costs
$3.
Thank you. That was the quiz.
Wow. Holy
that's
shit.
Expensive though, isn't
that's
it?
like 2 loaves of Warburtons, like or some. Yeah, I think it is. That's crazy.
I'm coming. Emma, I'm coming to you for random Australian facts on opening weekend.
Yeah, that's happening. Get them ready.
How much is a
You said you wanted a quiz.
How much would this pint cost in Australia? But
if the minimum wage is 20 Australian dollars, that works out about right, really, doesn't it?
Why are you still talking about Australia?
I don't know. Can I move on to a different
It's interesting, man. It
is interesting.
Sponsored by Australia.
So, Europa Park released their streaming platform, VJoy.
Yes,
you guys seen this?
What?
Yeah,
VJoy? What's it called?
Yes.
VJoy.
VEE.
Incredible.
VEE.
Mate, this sounds like a porn site. I'm not going
to it is a legit
so good.
So you know the
Joy plus level.
There's the Imagineering story.
Yeah, they've done one for Europa.
They've done that. They're starting to stream.
Okay.
They've released one episode so far, and
it's basically Disney Plus. It's basically Disney Plus.
VJoy makes it sound like they partnered with Gary Vaynerchuk to open like VJoy.
Yeah, this is a terrible name. I'm sorry.
It is free as well.
Yeah, it's free.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
It's on board.
Here we go.
Look at the joy.
Let's scroll down.
Okay. Yeah, actually go to it. It might surprise you a little bit. The production is like phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You scroll past the link. It's very small in the middle there.
That.
No.
VGI.D. Have a look here.
Oh my
There you
god!
There you go. It's a proper actual
The new streaming platform of
What are they going to be showing on it?
The story of
have
Europa Park.
a
Watch the
bunch
trailer.
of POVs. How Europa Park was made.
Oh, is this going to be butchered?
Let's see how this goes. Yeah.
There's no sound.
We got the audio.
We have a shuttle taking off.
That was Thought Park, mate. That was.
Mason.
SpaceX
fucking.
The sleepy little fishing village on the German-French border would one day attract millions of visitors was beyond the imaginations of pretty much anyone in 1972. Embark on a journey through time to the beginnings of Europa Park and experience the entire story up close.
It's epic.
See how it developed from a shop window of Mack Rides attractions to the legendary German theme park and resort it is today. This new series, exclusively available on VJoy, brings nostalgia with every episode. Unseen footage from the archives and small details which will surprise even insiders. It offers extensive coverage of the development of the theme park and detailed views behind the scenes, bringing a new perspective of a park that is filled with memories. The Europa Park story, exclusively on VJoy.
That production is incredibly good.
Okay, I would be interested in watching that because just purely because I don't really know much about Europa Park at all.
Yeah.
Episode 1 is already streaming. We've watched it. It's very good.
First things first, it's an incredibly awesome park.
It seems like they're doing proper like series on their stories.
Yeah.
On their actual attractions.
What's going on here?
What's going on here?
Edda. Someone tried to steal this magical artifact. Legend has it, this artifact has the power to
Mac
bring
animations.
objects to life.
They are really like Mac are
Going for it.
crazy, man. Like,
Yeah,
because
going for it.
I'm not because I bet all this was in house as well because they've started their own media company and they're doing loads of their own like animations in house videos. So it seems like they're probably again like how Europa Park is their testing ground and kind of showground for models to go, for coaster models and rides. It seems like they're using this platform to probably get work from other studios and stuff, maybe. So it's really interesting.
So there's things you can rent.
The name's weird, but I'm on board with the idea.
As Alison says, the epic voice saying the name VJoy.
Yeah.
Have they got a whole Pirates of whatever you call it? Pirates
of Batavia.
Batavia.
In Germany.
Yeah, some of it is in German.
Yeah.
It's supposed in Pirate.
Batavia.
There you go. Asked and answered.
But yeah,
that one looks a bit Channel 5.
But yeah,
everything will go for that one.
To watch, you do have to make an account, and the account is with Mac.
Yeah, you have a Mac
that you
account.
make. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I'm just really interested to know what all the other stuff is on here because
they've got a bunch of POVs on there, and
yeah, they've got loads of POVs.
Right. Okay.
Media. Okay, that was a weird trailer. That wasn't really.
I think that was just their intro. I think the trailer came afterwards.
No, that was it.
No, it does that. Their trailer is a separate.
And then
yeah. So what is
really long?
This is like a musical one. I just want to know what it is.
Is it their diss track?
Yeah.
Look anything today, pull through. There would be a brighter day. So hold your head up high and breathing deep. I know
something heavy on your mind. Control is something you will never find. Holding on to something
It's
you
so random.
can carry back. When the world came to tear
Better than Blackpool's music.
I'm just waiting for the guitarist to ad lib like V-Joy or something like that.
V-Joy.
For the people that need to see you smile, get by. Even if it's just for a little while.
That is very Disney, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I just want to.
VR.
I kind of just want to know, like, things like that. When it's like, who is that for? Like, I don't understand who that.
Emma, 100%.
The start of that
tune.
song sounded
Banger.
like Avril Lavigne.
It did.
I'd like Hannah Montana, to be fair.
But I don't understand.
yeah,
Like, so that is Smile. This catchy hit easily brings. Are you calling your own song a hit? Is it actually a hit?
That's why I do my
That's a
my
big
vlogs,
claim.
mate.
But no, but yeah, I'm joking. But this is really cool, and definitely we'll be looking at this.
Imagine if Towers did something like this.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
the
it'd be
history of
amazing.
towers.
That's why I like this, because they've looked at Disney and they've gone, oh, people like to watch what goes on behind the scenes. So you know what?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I bet they have I bet they have a ton of stories to tell as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. The first episode is absolutely phenomenal. It tells you about the whole setup and everything, and how they actually failed to even get a loan to start the business. Like,
yeah.
I think it was only about 15 minutes. For the
yeah,
first
it's 15
episode.
minutes
It's not-
long, but it's honestly, it's so worth it.
Yeah. Oh, so the whole thing is 15 minutes long,
The first episode, yeah.
and is there more episodes, or they?
Yes, there's a new
Not
episode
yet.
every week.
Okay, right. Yeah, yeah.
They are, but yeah, it's weekly release.
So
I
it's
don't
kind of
know what
like their
day it
version
is.
of the Imagineering story then.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
literally is
yeah.
that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
Joy.
Interesting.
Arthur video blog.
They did
Oh,
a
so-
full Arthur creation documentary in the past. Europa Park.
Yeah, so
I think that is it there.
that's what it is. But they've got separate
Really good.
videos for
Yeah.
different attractions, which is really cool. So as well as doing the
And they
that
got
big
POVs.
series.
We've got good POVs in there as well.
They do.
Okay,
That was a really good blue file one.
interesting. I'll definitely be looking at that. So that's vjoy.d.
Its branding really reminds me of View.
Odeon.
Or View.
Oh, the way you said
Odeon or View.
cinema.
Yeah.
it's kind
Generalized cinema, yeah.
it reminds me a little bit of
Cinema and Grand Theft Auto.
No, it reminds me of like Now TV, what their original brand.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah,
That's what it reminds.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It reminds me of something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
But knowing your own
V-Joy
there's
new
a
podcast
reason
sponsor,
behind
question mark.
the way the logo is. Probably some weird reason behind it. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks,
no,
it looks
that's
decent. It looks,
I'm not,
it
I,
looks
didn't, I didn't
good.
even heard of that. So that's
Neither
that was-
neither had I. I learned something new
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, so that's cool. Right. Anyone else got anything else to chat about?
No, I think that'll round it up good and well.
Yeah. We've got a
Good first
cool idea for next week's podcast that me and McCall know about. I don't know if
Yeah, I don't know. This is
Am I about to
Okay.
learn something new today?
Yeah.
yeah.
My turn.
Yeah, it was originally like an idea for this week's, but we had so much to catch up on, we didn't have time for it. So we was thinking of making like a full. It's going to be different. That's all we're going to say. We'll release more information about it during the week. Next week, if we go ahead with it, it could just be another news story, you know. But yeah,
just nice little conversational, different directions to go in instead of just always talking about news. But
yeah,
should be fun.
exactly. Like we're gonna have slow news weeks. We always do. But to be fair, the last 6 months, there's never been really a slow news week. It seems like there's been
no,
a lot
that's
of
not. There's really no such thing as a slow news week in the theme park world.
No, it's not really.
No.
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, cool. So if you are listening to this on podcast, let me remind you that we do this live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel, the Chain Dogs Podcast on YouTube. Come and join us, get involved in the comments. It's basically what makes the show. So yeah, it'd be really good to have you over here. And everyone else, if you've joined a little bit late, you can rewatch it, or the podcast will be up tomorrow on Spotify,
on
Apple
time.
Music. Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? It's 2022. new year, new start. Start being on time. Come on.
that goes for us lot as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. So, but thank you everyone for watching. We will see you next week on the Chain Dogs. See you later, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you later,
See ya.
guys. Bye.
Bye.